Hey everyone, so I'm here with the awesome
Clarissa Jacobson.
Shayna Weber.
and they are some of the crazy masterminds behind the short film Lunch Ladies. So I actually got to see it, and it's really interesting, awesome. I really like the colors too. That's one thing that really stood out to me. But I have to know. Oh well, if you guys want to talk a little bit about what it's about for those who aren't here.
It's a quirky film, a horror comedy about two overworked high school lunch ladies, middle-aged lunch ladies who do whatever it bloody takes to be Johnny Depp's personal chefs. They're obsessed with Johnny Depp, and they work at a high school. And some things happen that cause them to do some bad things.
I really like the. I don't think that's a spoiler, but in the poster they have a poster of Johnny Depp in the cafeteria, and the mouth is all because I guess they kissed it or rubbed it too much. So I like that little
over the top stalker fans.
Yeah.
So and they live for Johnny Depp, and he gets them through the hellish day at their terrible school. So.
I can relate to that. Sometimes when I'm in a bad situation or boring, I'm I need a cute guy to just get me through it, just to look at, So how did the idea for this film come about?
I have the woman who plays the lead, Donna Peroni. I've known her for years, and I used to be an actress. We were in a play together, and she had told me that she'd always go to these auditions where another woman, they were the same type, and then one would always get the part, or she would always get, and they were friends, so it sucked. So she said, God, it'd be so great if there was a movie about lunch ladies, because then we could both have the part. This woman didn't get that part, but that just spawned my idea of doing a spoof on, well, I mean, I'm giving a little spoiler here, but it's a spoof on Sweeney Todd, and then having the twist of them also being obsessed with Johnny Depp, and getting the idea from Johnny Depp because he played in Sweeney Todd. So.
And have you tried, or are you going to try to get this film to Johnny Depp to see if he'll watch it sometime?
We want him to find out about it. We don't want to be
you want him to find out from other people, not from you.
Yeah, because
I'll try to do my best.
Well, no, it's somewhere out in the ether, gets talked about enough that because I know several people who know him and are like, oh, I can get it to him. I'm no, just. Let's see if, I want him to let it ride. Yeah.
What was one of the best parts about making this?
Oh, there's so many good parts. It was such an amazing learning experience because I'm a writer. I never produced a film before, and I had to put the whole team together, and I learned so much, and it was hard. It was hard, but it was magical. We had the best people in the world, and it's just a dream come true getting to see it, and people love it, and it's awesome. What about you?
My favorite part is probably seeing so many people love and want to help and promote her movie, because she worked so hard to write and put this thing together, and she basically did it not knowing anything about making a movie, and she just did it, and she was nice and kind. Aww. And she treated people with respect, and people want to help you when you do things like that. So that's the best part.
She held my hand through so much. I would be freaking out working with the unions because I didn't know what I was doing, and she'd be like, okay, here's the contact, because she used to do a lot of, and still does, reality TV producing, but she's an amazing writer, and that's what she wants to do mostly. But it's true, she's a great writer, and she held my hand through so much, and I just surrounded myself with people that would tell me how to do it and help me. So it's been great, just great.
And how long was the shoot?
Well, I wrote the feature first, and that took 15 months. And Shayna's in a really great writing class with me called Twin Bridges, run by Joe Bratcher and Judy Farrell. And we worked that for 15 months. And then I wrote the short, so that took another 5 months. Then it took, to find the right director, that took another 5 months. And then he and I prepped it for 4 months. And then we filmed it over 2 weekends, because we could get the best crew that way, because I wasn't paying very much for the crew because it's very expensive, but they wanted them to have real jobs, really good paying jobs during the week. So we did it on 2 weekends, and then it took another 9 months between editing and people having jobs and getting the music done. So it took about 1.5 years just for the short. Yeah.
Wow. And you want to make it into a feature?
Yeah, that was the reason that I made the film is I wanted it to be a proof of concept because people would be like, oh, this is so funny when they read the feature, but is there a market for it? And I was like, yes, there's people that like horror comedy. And I totally sing it because I have just greatest fans and people that love it, that are into horror comedy. The horror community is amazing. And so it was a way to show people, if there's a producer who's interested in putting money into it, that there is a market because people like the short. So I don't know if you have anything to say about that, but no.
What was it like? One of my favorite scenes, because I just wonder what it was like to be a part of, is the shot where everyone's like eating. Oh,
go ahead. You can. No, go ahead. It's okay.
I don't want to spoil.
Spoiler. I already said it.
Okay. Okay, well, where everyone's just eating the pies, like they seem to really be enjoying.
Yeah.
They did a good job, the background and everything.
It was amazing. We had the best extras ever. Like they were all real actors. That's really important to me because I have an acting background. That they all were actors, not just people. They knew how to act, and so they really rose to the occasion. And we didn't have money to give them costumes, so we told them, Josh, who's the director, Josh Logan, J.M. Logan, he cast each of them as goths, rockers, whatever, right? And told them to show up in their costumes and be that. So they all showed up and they were exactly their characters. And then when that scene was done, we didn't have very much time. We only had them for a couple hours because all the kids were 18 or younger, like between 16 and 18. So you can only keep them a certain amount of time. So we had to really rush it, and we just gave them direction. And they're like, this is the best food you've ever eaten in your entire life. And we let them go with it, and they improv'd it, and they did it because they were real actors and they knew what to do, So that was great.
That's what happens when you get, a good director and good actors. You get like a really great scene like that. So
I had such respect for them, and they were just wonderful,
And what do you have anything else in the works? In addition to shopping this around, making this a feature.
Yeah, well, like I said, we're in a writing class, so we're always working on scripts. I have another screenplay that just got optioned called Stella by Starlight, which is sweet and coming of age. It's not horror, but I have some other horror comedies, and we're just always working on stuff. Primarily right now, I'm all about promoting Lunch Ladies and getting the feature made, and that's really my main focus right now. But I have other projects that I'm working on. Shayna?
My main job right now is being a mom. I have a 1.5-year-old, so I didn't get to be there when she was filming because I had just had my baby.
Yeah,
like 2 weeks before.
2 weeks before.
2 weeks
right?
before, and
Yeah.
I thought, I'll just bring the baby to set. And I was like, no way, that's not happening. So, main job is being a mom right now. I also do some reality TV stuff, but also writing some different projects.
Can we talk a little bit about your background?
Well, I went to Indiana University. I thought I wanted to be an actor since I was a little kid, but I wasn't. I was always a writer. It just took me a while to get to it. So I acted for many years. I did voiceover and stuff like that. But when I found Twin Bridges writing class, that was like, oh my God, that's what I love to do. So I have right now, I just love to write, and I just want to write the rest of my life. That's what I want to do. That's my background. And I'm originally from Minnesota, so.
Well, I'm glad you finally, sometimes it does take a while for people to find what they truly want to do.
Love, yeah.
My background is in reality TV. I started about 15 years ago producing, and I've been jumping around freelance, different show. I do a lot of competition shows where I create the competitive games and things like that, like RuPaul's Drag Race, and I've worked on So You Think You Can Dance, and just, various reality.
Brew Dogs.
Yeah, Brew Dogs, which is, I know a lot of really weird information about really weird things. So, yeah.
It's awesome. It might come in handy someday.
She's from Oregon.
From Oregon.
So we're both like good salt of the earth girls. Sort of.
I know they probably get asked this a lot, but any advice for people? Because I actually get questions like this too, and I'm like, I'm not an expert. I can only give you so much info. But anyone that wants to break into the industry, especially because those who aren't from Hollywood, they're like, how do you get a job there? How do you they just think it's so impossible. So what advice would you give them?
Well, I haven't broke through this glass ceiling yet, or whatever you want to call it. But my advice is, one, just be part of the journey, because you can get ahead of yourself going, I have to be famous, I have to do this, I have to. No, it's about the work. And if you love the work and you love the journey and you just chill with it, it's the best thing in the world. And then to surround yourself with people that you can trust, that love and support you, that you can take their criticism, because there are a lot of people that will give you criticism because they just are jealous and want to tear you down. And then there's the people like Shayna and the people in your world that have your best interest at heart. And so when they say this doesn't work, you can go, yeah. And to find a mentor, like I have an amazing mentor, Joe Bratcher, who taught me to write and supports me and tells me don't do this or do that, you know, and just helps me make decisions. So, and work hard. It's really, really, really hard. Like I work really hard at it, and it's not, you can't coast.
Yeah, that's one of the things I feel like you have to be good at in this industry is like learn to take rejection well. Like that's one of the reasons I started this thing, because I've been rejected. So, you know, but you just have to rise up, and, you know, that means more, you know, if I hadn't been rejected, I wouldn't have my own website now. So, you know, just don't give up.
Yourself. You have to, like, there's so many people, you really have to have a very strong voice in your mind that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, this is what I love to be doing, and to not let other people, because so many people are going to tell you can't do it. So many people.
Yeah.
And you have to have the voices also around you when you're down that can say, yes, you can.
Yeah.
So.
For me, I think the main thing working in reality TV and meeting a bunch of people is be kind, work really hard, and trust your instincts. And find your people. Really find your people who are going to help you. And if you're authentic and you're kind and you work really hard, people are going to want to help you. So don't be an asshole, pretty much.
Don't be that is so true. So true.
But yeah, that was actually like really good advice. I actually have I bought on like I just found it like at the dollar store, like some decoration that said work hard and be nice to people.
It's true.
That's it. Like
It's
you
true.
gotta stay grounded, and you just have to be nice and really mean it. Like don't be nice to be like, I'm gonna be nice to this person. Don't kiss people's asses. Don't be like fake nice. Really just
treat everybody.
Figure out what you love.
Say,
yeah,
like
and,
just because
and
somebody's
nice.
I mean, I see people like, oh, that person's a big producer, I'm gonna go like talk to them, and then there's you know, you don't know who knows who or who can help you, or
because the PA today could be an executive producer tomorrow. You don't know. So just be nice to people.
I do think it's important. I agree with you with like, you know, trying to get like the toxic people out of your life. You know, I've definitely had to do that. So how is, you know, some people maybe they have a harder time being able to tell who those people are. So how, like, tip would you give them? Like, okay, if this person is doing this, it's probably not like a good person to have around. Like, how would you help them discern?
decide. Well, I still learn every single day. I mean, I every single day. And there's people that I've had that I love. I truly love them, but I've had to, because they've somehow don't want me to succeed in a certain way. I think it's just a growing process. Like, I'm sure 10 years from now, I'll be like still pushing people away or bringing people in that are supportive. You get better at it, but it's kind of like trust your instincts, which is still that. I know that doesn't sound like it's hard to know it, but you know deep down really if someone's in your corner. You really do. You just sometimes don't want to listen to it, but...
Yeah, and I agree with what she said, and just don't beat yourself up about it. Like, if you find out that somebody that you trusted or believed in isn't really that great person that you thought, don't beat yourself up about it. Just figure out a way to clear them out and keep moving forward.
Thank you. I will offer one piece of advice I had that I realized, you know, when I was in college, is that there are certain people that I thought were my friends, and then I realized, like, every time I would be around them, I would feel awful about myself. Right. And then I'm just like, it's probably not a good friend, because I shouldn't feel like so bad after being around them.
That's right. But sometimes you don't want to believe it, because like I always want to see the best in everybody, and sometimes it's hard to go, okay, maybe this person doesn't have my best interest at heart, but I try to just wish them the best and not have any angry feelings toward them, and just because there's so many good people. Once you start like getting rid of those people and bringing the good people in, then you just get more and more good people supporting you, you know. Now
back to, you know, your horror comedy. What is one of your inspirations in terms of that genre?
Well, it's funny because I always was telling Shane this, like, I didn't know when we made it that everybody would come and say, oh gosh, it's like got a John Waters feel, it's got a John Hughes, it's got a Tim Burton, and obviously I didn't plan to put that in there, but they're like my huge, I love John Waters, I love John Hughes, like, I mean, 16 Candles is one of my top 10 favorite movies, you know, so it's like, yeah, of course, those are my influences. I like quirky, kind of off the beaten, not politically correct, but but I like positive. I mean, anything with John Waters makes, even though it could be like really dark, there's something so positive and funny about it. So that's, yeah.
What about you? Who inspires you just in general?
Oh my gosh. I mean, growing up, I love Jim Henson stuff. I love John Hughes. Like, you know, I mean, anything that tells you a fairy tale kind of story. Guillermo del Toro, Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that's like a dark, sort of gothic fairy tale, that's what, you know, makes me super happy.
And do you guys have a favorite Johnny Depp film?
Edward Scissorhands. It's got to be Edward Scissorhands. It's got to be Edward Scissorhands.
I do a really good impression of Gilbert Grape. So I love What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Can you do it?
No, because it's so not politically correct. I'm not doing it.
She does. That's right.
Anything else you'd like to say before we?
Just if you get a chance, check out my website, lunchladiesmovie.com. There's some funny stuff on it. A Jack's School Store, a geography lesson. We have a lot of fan art, some really funny blogs. I have to say, I think they're pretty funny. I try to make them funny, written from the lunch ladies' point of view, because they're not moralistic and they don't care what they do to get ahead. So if you get a chance, check it out, and we'll see where it goes.
And thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Problem.
Thank you.
Oh, is there a way eventually that they'll be able to watch it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, we haven't. It's not online yet because we're still doing the Film Fest run. But if you follow the Instagram, and you know, we have everything: Twitter, Instagram, any social media that you would like. You can get all the updates about where it's going to be, and you know, it'll be online in a little bit. So.
Well, I'll put all the links in the description, so follow all of that, and hopefully eventually you guys will get to see it, and you should when you can, because it's really funny, especially if you like horror comedy.
Horror comedy, yeah.
Or Johnny Depp, just. Or John Waters, or you know.
Or anything.
Just like
anything weird.
anything. Just if you
But
just
it's
like
fun.
stuff in general, just watch it. All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Bye.